Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and real fun video today. I just got back from a couple towns over. I found on Craigslist free stuff, an 8-foot tall money tree clump. I don't have any idea how old it is. The guy had no information. And anyways, like I always say, this Volvo's amazing. Fits everything. So look at the base. There's my hand. So, man, the base of that one. Nice. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 5. Nice. An odd number. Nice and lucky. You see it's kind of braided going up, and then it gets absolutely crazy. Let's see if we get the... There we go. Of course, me forgot to take the jogging stroller out first, but that's all right. I just kind of bent it in here. So I wanted to show you all how tall it was before I even got it into the house. We're going to decide what we're going to do with it. We're going to leave it tall. We're going to prune it hard. I don't know. But that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, people, so it is literally touching the ceiling. Coming down. So we've got a little clump ski. Looks like kind of braided together. There's like a central braid in there. And then it looks like probably it was pruned that one time really hard. And since then, I think there's a little growth coming out there. Lots of shoots kind of lower on these trunks away from the braid, and then a couple up on the braid. So you see, like, these are the ones that are coming off and going straight up. So I could go one of two ways with it. Well, maybe 3 ways. I could take it all the way down to here, where it's been taken down to before, and kind of try to reestablish that braid and just have a nice big trunk and a shorter tree, still pretty tall and large for bonsai purposes, and then potentially have a whole bunch of cuttings, maybe multiple groupings of cuttings, because I wouldn't want them that tall even as cuttings, or I could come up a little bit higher and make it like, say, I don't know, appropriate height for that thickness of trunk. Maybe here. And then create a little grouping with those cuttings. But definitely this stringy craziness, it's not long for that. I just can't leave it like that. But I will leave it overnight. I'm going to go do a row in the garage, and I'll think about it. Tomorrow I'll look at it, I'll think about it, and then we'll make a decision. All right, stand by. All right, y'all, so it's the next morning, and as you see, we got some snow last night. So before we go inside and chop at that monster, just want to show you I got all the cold hardy trees all set up in the mulch over here. I will fill in all this area. I want to build up, like, basically to where the bottom of the tarp goes there on the windows, with mulch around there, build up around the pots, and then I'm just gonna do a thick layer down the middle. The grass won't shoot through, and even though this is a nice healthy grass because it gets proper amount of shade and sun, it's just a pain to mow. So, you know, for future mowings in May, June, and July, I'm doing this for that Jared, even though, you know, it is some nice grass. But so that's what I'm going to be doing. Probably today's project. It's turned into rain now, so the mulch shouldn't be frozen, and I'll get that moved, get that done. Let's get inside. All right, so we got Stelly fighting to get in for video time. The Mutts, everybody's present. So let's get set up here. I think what I want to do is the consensus online for cuttings is like 6 inches with some leaves on it, but these have very long branches with no leaves until the end, so I think I'll nip some tips and see how many cuttings I can get, and then we'll take the exact height that we want. All right, I think I got the monster in the shot, so might as well just start from the top. They actually have a few divisions up top, and it looks like that's where they've been pruning it. Is probably when it gets to the ceiling, they prune it down. So this has 1, 2, 3. I'll just go mid here, shooting for lengths like that. So 6 inches, so maybe 8 inches. And I've successfully done these in water myself, and I believe soil, but I've also failed a bunch as well. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some, it said in like a sandy surface. I'm thinking perlite would work well as well. Put some in some medium and then others in water. This way I'm assured to at least get some Terutis cuttings. I would love to give these to friends as Christmas presents this year. Pretty much have worked my way up in quality of Christmas presents. They all start out with like spider plants and pothos and, you know, the really easygoing ones. And then once you do this, like, I'll do it off camera, but for those of you that are interested in rooting your own cuttings, you just want to remove the bottom leaves and just leave that top. This way the plant isn't supporting the leaves while it grows roots. So pretty much any old leaves I'm taking off like that. I'm not going to do every one like that on camera, but now you know. So I have rooting hormone somewhere too. So the one that wasn't in water said to go ahead and those leaves were just too big. So there's a little one coming out the top. That'll be enough. What was I saying? Yeah, so rooting hormone powder in like sand or perlite. I have that somewhere, so I'll use that on those. And then the ones in water, obviously. I've never heard of anybody stirring in the rooting hormone powder and it working successfully. So this one's kind of interesting. It's like a division of 3, so that would be a really amazing cutting. Take a look at that. So you have the main one coming up here, and then a branch coming off that. Hey, Bruce Lee. And then a branch here, and a branch here. So Bruce Lee is from Augusta, Georgia, from a rescue there, so he hates the cold, and Millie hates the heat. She's from Nebraska. So, yeah, now you can see better what I was talking about. Man. So, I don't know if you're from around the world, if you don't have Craigslist, or if the U.S. you have Craigslist, there's a spot. You go into Craigslist for sale, and you scroll down in alphabetical order to the categories, and there's one that says free stuff. And when I can't sleep in the wee hours in the morning, and when there's no good bonsai videos out there, I just go on there real quick and cruise, and so I've gotten so much stuff for the ranch, for bonsai, you name it. This is another really nice one. I'm not sure, they're still green, the stalks that I'm cutting, so that should be promising for rooting. It's usually easier to root on soft and medium soft woods, not when they're all hardened off and look like the brown bark of a tree. So I guess we shall see. All right, so it looks like they tied this part together here. It must have been just long and stringy and flopping over, so they just tied them to go straight up, which I've done with my bamboo and a big house plant, calla lily before. All right, so I'll go ahead and cut that now. Let's see what we're for. Oh, so they must have done it a while ago. Right, you're free. All kind of intertwined there. Okay. Man, I almost wish I could rehab it at this height and then sell it nice and full at this height to like an office building or something like that. But since the trunk is so incredible, and I don't pay attention to these too much, like when I go to nurseries, but I don't think I've ever seen one in a pot this thick with this many in a clump, like, and then it's braided cool, so just so much potential. I'm gonna keep it. I swore I wasn't getting any more plants, but I'm gonna keep this one. Unless you're out there and you want to make a ridiculous offer, even though I got it for free, you know. I guess the people had just moved from. There's a definite piece of dead dye back here. Just give me that. They had moved from a warmer climate where I believe they could just keep it out on their patio all year round, and they were in like a condo situation, so he was just happy for somebody to take it, and I was happy to oblige. Just taking off some of the old cuts. I could see it died back too. So we have some lower growth here, which is coming out of the crotch of this branch. Normally I would take that out, but since we're doing a hard prune, anything down below that I can keep, I will. And I think with the height of this trunk, it might be nicer to have a canopy about this high. So I think that's where I'm gonna prune to and see what we get. There's a nice division here, so I'll let that be divided. Come right above where that leaf is. These I don't know if we'll have success rooting from cuttings, but I'm gonna try. It's pretty much gonna go across and prune everything to pretty much the same height. And maybe we can get some sort of manageable arrangement to continue the braid, or we could just create a nice little weeping canopy that complements the braid. Here's some nice big cuts. And if it just so happens to kick back a bunch of low growth like that, I may in the future just keep it much smaller and just have huge base to it. Wow, that's a big boy. Wish you were a little lower, bro. But it's still green even though it's thick, so I'm sure it's healthy. It's on the outside, so I'll take it a little lower. Not the same. I noticed on my money tree planting of 3, a little beach scene, that finally one is kicking off some growth. The trunks have stayed hard, so I knew they didn't like die right away or anything. There's a nice little bud down here. I'm gonna prune back. All right. Yeah, it's kind of clustered here. Yeah, so I noticed a bud coming out, so even though I wasn't too concerned because the trunks weren't hard, or they were hard, they weren't softening up, which is a sign that they're dying off. I was a little concerned, but if you could see where we at, yep, right there. Right there is a bud. And there may be some others, but I haven't seen them, so. And then this one's still green up top, so that's a good sign on that one. And this guy's nice and firm, so I'm confident that little money tree planting's gonna come back nice. All right, back to the monster. See that base? That's really cool. We got a bunch of secondary growth that's been there a while coming out of that braid. So maybe one day, but not today, I may be brave enough to prune back to its original spiral there, establish that trunk line, and then have everything coming out of here. I don't know what it's in. It feels pretty light and dry, so I'll give it a watering, and then I'm gonna pop it up on this spot right over here and give it some room to grow. We'll get nice sun coming in from the east, afternoon from the west, and I'll keep y'all posted on it. So that's gonna do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Thanks for, oh, actually, there was one more thing I wanted to do. So I've got this lemon scented gum tree. All my red gums and my lemon scented gums. Only one survived over a few years, grown from seed. And when I brought it inside this year, a lot of the leaves withered up and died, but that's the best part of this tree. It is fugly. You see that base? It's just like a knob and a bunch of long stringy branches coming out. Not much division. But those leaves, oh my gosh, I crumpled them up and let the hot water and the steam shower heat them up. Those oils in the air, rub them in my beard. I'm telling you, it smells like no other. Nothing out of a bottle can compare. So anyways, I just got this hung yesterday. I raised and hung a bunch of trees so that Stella could no longer get to them. So I hung 7 more new hangers, and I replaced 3 like decorative hanging wine bottles with actual trees and plants. So there's a dead branch that was just trying to reach out and grab you as you walked by. But other than that, not the right tool for this, people, but I have it in my hand, so just taking off the dead stuff while I'm here, and then I'll show you the rest of the hanging display. All right. Actually, I think that whole thing's gone. All right. Cool. So starting here, Mama Spider pruned a bunch of the spiderettes so Stella couldn't get them. And I also pruned the bottom of these hanging things that usually hang low so that she could swing from them. So this is the Strangler Fig Ficus from Florida from my broski Matt Brennan. Sitting in a nice decorative Chinese pot there. Got Blue Jacaranda. Money tree from a previous pruning. Stella Lucia. Hey, baby. Oh, you're grabbing the branches. Okay, the lemon scented gum. We got a grapefruit and I believe a Caracara orange. No, a clementine, mandarin orange. Growing there with a little Schefflera cutting. You know, one of those zebra things. This guy, he needs a pruning too. This is my what's this called again, babe? Hoya, my Hoya. It came as a single little tiny trunk with 1 heart from Laura for Valentine's one year. And now you see it, it's totally dope, crawling out the pot. Look at that trunk. Little baby twilight pepper here. After a crash and explosion, Laura repotted and just stuck some of the peppers in soil in pots and they sprouted, so pretty cool. Okinawan holly, a Schefflera cutting and a jade cutting coming together. One of those plants I can never remember the name, but if you know plants, you already know what it is. A little geranium. I thought this had just such a cool thing to it. I know it's a rare species too. Palm tree, date palm tree grown from seed. Zigzag cactus grown out of a cigar box. That's dope. That's a Canary Island date palm up top, sago palm below. One of the mama pepper plants that comes out with the whole rainbow's colors worth of peppers. No joke, it's insane. This bad boy's about to bloom. This Christmas cactus cuttings. Down here I've got the avocado with a black locust, cherimoya, the queen of the night, cut back hard, so that'll start kicking off a little growth soon. Another avocado with a bunch of Delonix regia growing with it. A calla lily. And then over here I have the other mama of the Twilight chili peppers. Nice little silver bladed wandering Jew right there. And then complementing it, I've got it coming out of the pot below. And this sago palm, this one's from South Carolina, 2016, Laura's birthday. I got a couple of just basic cutting and pup. Those are, you know, little babies from other plantings. Then I got a pencil cactus and another holiday Christmas cactus with that one. Delonix regia, little succulents, bamboo and pencil cactus, and a trio of blue jacarandas. And then this is the pineapple guava forest that I pruned back mega hard, defoliated and pruned because it was covered in scale insect. And look at it now, every tree is kicking off some nice growth, so that's good to see. All right, yeah, so I guess that's the update. And boom, yeah, the Hoya and the lemon scented gum are what I wanted to prove in addition. So a little bonus to the money tree monster pruning. So I'm going to get to work on these cuttings, and I'll keep you all posted on the bud back and all of that on both that one and the bonsai size. So I'm Jared Paul, and for my family, yours, cheers.